What is up, y'all? Welcome to Put On Game Trucking Podcast with your host, your boy Trucking with Dev. Y'all already know, man. I try to put everybody on game, man. Welcome back. If you're returning back, or welcome if this is your first time, welcome, y'all. So I want to talk about something today on the podcast that's really important that I feel that everybody should understand and know, that the trucking game is either going to make you or it's going to break you. Like, I'm going to talk about my lowest check that I had made. Excuse my phone. I'm going to talk about the lowest check that I made as owner operator. You know, a lot of people want to know how much money you can make. Everybody hears big numbers. Everybody hears, about getting rich and all this and all that. And I'm going to be realistic with y'all on the podcast today that it's not always about getting rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is good at times and money is bad at times. But I'm going to tell y'all today on this podcast, y'all, that it's not always fun and games, y'all. It's not always, you're going to drown real quick if you ain't careful, right? Because having overhead is very, very, it's one of the things in the trucking game that's very important to understand. And what I mean by overhead, you're probably wondering, what is overhead? Now, overhead is like, your bills, what expenses do you got? Like, being an owner operator, having a statement is why I keep looking right here, because I have a whole settlement statement of my lowest check that I'm going to be talking about today, because people don't understand. When you have your own bills at home, like you got your mortgage, you got your car payment, you got insurance, you got food, you got gas, you got light, you got water, you got kids, school coming, you got stuff that you got to buy. Now, that is expenses and overhead is living and a regular, just living a life. Becoming an owner operator, having your own truck. And I'm talking about one truck. I'm not talking about multiple, because I specifically have one truck. So y'all know I'm as transparent as possible, and I'm just realistic about it, because I want people to succeed. I want you to learn. I want you to understand that this is a slow process. It's a slow process, but if you do it right, you can succeed. Now, what I have here, like I said, is all the expenses. Like I was saying, you have your own separate expenses at home, your own regular bills. Here you got other expenses on top of those bills, being an owner operator, right? So I want to go over that today. Basically let y'all know my lowest check. People probably wondering, man, what did he make? Stay tuned to the end, because I'm about to be putting y'all on game. I'm gonna be talking about all of this. Like, you have to understand, when you buy your own truck, you're gonna have insurance. When you buy your own truck, you're going to have repairs. When you buy your own truck, wherever you buy your truck from, a dealer, third party, a buddy of yours, you're going to have a payment. Unless you buy your truck cash. I bought my truck cash money because I felt that was the best thing for me to do. And this is my second time being an owner operator, owning a truck. First time I failed, a little bit about that, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all is when I first bought my first truck, I failed. Why did I fail? It's because, man, I was young. I'm 28. I'm still young. But when I was younger, like, this was like 4 years ago, I was a little younger. And I just thought, man, being an owner operator, like, I make my own schedule. Being an owner operator, I do what I want to do. Being an owner operator, like, I take whatever days off that I want to take off, because I'm an owner operator. I'm my own boss. Man, that mindset right there just put me to the ground fast. I'm talking about lost my vehicle. I lost my place. I couldn't pay bills because I wasn't working. And on top of that, like, it was raining. So I was doing belly dump and end up at that time. And it just didn't work out, because when it rains, for those of y'all that don't know, when you in the industry of hauling, material like sand and gravel and stuff like that, like, you could fail real quick if you have one truck, because the weather, it permits, whether it's good weather or it's bad weather. Good weather, you're running. Bad weather, you're sitting because they're not running because of the mud, ice, or whatever the case may be. But you definitely want to take that into consideration when you're looking to buy a truck, where you're going to put your truck and stuff like that. So I failed, right? I failed my first time. I learned a lot. And that's why I'm giving y'all these gems and putting y'all on game, because I want people to succeed. I want people to understand that this isn't something to just get into and have that mentality of being your own boss. Everybody wants to be their own boss. But being your own boss, there's a cost to be your own boss. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, man, it could be stressful at times, but that's why I'm going to go over this check today. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, I was stressed out. I'm going to be 100. Like, you know, the week of this whole check, you know what I mean? Y'all probably want to hear it, but I'm going to get to it. I promise. That's why I said stay tuned. But I'm going to just make sure that I want to make sure that y'all understand where we going, right? Like, that week that I made this check, I had to spend $1,400 on steer tires for the truck because I almost literally lost my life. You know what I mean? I had a tire that was literally, the slit was crazy, like deep in the tire on the sidewall, that at any given moment it could have gave out. And thank God I did a PM on my truck, and I caught it when I was underneath the truck doing the oil change, because I do my own maintenance, right? That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? But I was underneath the truck and I was able to find that gas on the side of the sidewall and save my life, because man, it could have been bad. But what I'm trying to say is I spent $1,400 that week, right, on those tires, when I already didn't make a good check. That I'm about to explain to y'all how much I made, right? Like, I already didn't make a good check that week, but I had money coming out. And that's what I mean. Like, you got expenses, you got things that you got to pay for. You got to make sure that you have proper capital, money put away, saved. Now, I didn't start off with a savings, with $20,000, $30,000. People say you got to have all this money in the bank and all this and all that. I didn't start off like that. I started off the ignorant way of, I'm gonna go make the money. You got to wait sometimes 3 weeks to a month to get your first check. And I didn't have no money. I didn't have no capital saved. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I didn't have no capital saved, no money saved. And I just went out there and got it. You know what I'm saying? So I putting away little money here, little money there, little money here, little money there. When I started getting paid, that's why I was able to buy my tires and stuff like that, right? So it's capital that you're going to need to start building up, unless you already have money saved up when you go buy your first truck. It's just stuff like that you run into being an owner operator, the unexpected, because things are gonna happen. It's not how it's gonna happen. It's just, or should I say, it's when it's gonna happen, right? Like, you never know when it's gonna happen. Y'all never ever gonna know when it's gonna happen. But you always want to make sure that you are on top of your truck, whatever truck you purchase, right? Let's get into it, right? So this is my worst check I've made. Don't get me wrong. The company I'm with is a good company. The company that I drive for, man, I'm leased on, so I don't have my own authority. I run under their authority. So therefore, when you run under a company's authority and you're leased on, you're going under their insurance. You're using their trailer. If you don't own your own trailer, you're using their equipment. So you're paying a fee monthly to lease their equipment, right? I want to make sure that y'all understand that. So on this statement is all those expenses, right? But like I said, the company I'm with is a good company. And I'm not talking like, hey, you know what, this check sucks and my company sucks that I'm rolling with. No, they're good people. We've been doing better. I was doing way, way, way better a couple months ago. And I've seen good money. Believe me, I've seen it. My check that I got today, the check that I'm getting next, like they're good. But this is my worst. The reason why I'm doing this whole thing, right, is because I want y'all to understand that there's times like this you can get discouraged in the owner operator game, but it's times like this that help you to understand things, right? So in this statement right here, I made $2,400 within this week right here, within this paycheck. I made $2,400. That was the gross to the truck, $2,400. That was on one job, mind you. It wasn't a week. That wasn't working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That was one day, one job of work, and I made $2,400 because that's all we had. Work has been slow. I work in the oil field. If anybody knows the oil and gas industry, it's like the stock market. It goes up and it goes down, and you can lose it all really fast. So $2,400 was gross that went to the truck whenever they took their 30%, which is a lease on fee for the company, and they kind of correlate the insurance in there as well. They do some kind of They do it somehow, some way for the insurance as well. So the 30% in the insurance, the insurance is within that 30% that the company deducts to lease on with them. Now, certain companies have 19% to lease on with them, 18%, 10%, whatever percentage. My company is 30%. Now, people might say that's high. People might say I'm dumb. But this is reality, right? Everybody always tries to go for let's go for the better. Like, let's go for this and let's go for that. You know how many people went for the better that are with my company, that were with my company that I'm with right now, and are went with a different company and they just let go all the owner operators. Now they're calling to come back to this company, but now we're not hiring. You know what I'm saying? So you got to basically play your cards right. You got to play your cards right, and you got to just make sure that, you know, hey, it's 30%. But I'll tell you what, this is the only check that I was really looking at, like, yo, like what deductions really came out, right? Because I was like, yo, you know, I really started to see that, man, like 30%, I'm taking out 30%. Oh, that's a lot. Now I'm only making this. But at the end of the day, before I even got this check, I wasn't even looking at my settlements. That's how good I was making. I just want to put that out there. But so $2,400 is what I grossed to the truck, what the truck had grossed for that week. Now, after the 30% with the insurance deducted, that left me with $1,661.61, excuse me, to the gross of the truck. So basically now after the $2,400, boom, that left me with $1,661. Now, driver costs. We have to pay a driver cost whether you have a driver physically or you are the driver yourself. I am my driver. I'm an owner, but I'm also the operator. So therefore, I drive my truck and I get paid to drive my truck. So we get two different checks. We get a truck settlement and we also get a driver settlement. The driver settlement, of course, I pay myself 25%. And that being said is paying myself 25%. They take out also the Social Security tax and Medicare taxes as well. Just like anybody were to get paid as far as W-2, now the truck pay is 1099. So I get two different settlements, right? So paying the truck after the $1,661, paying to the driver with that deduction coming out for the driver wages would be $550 because you got a driver wages, which was $462.19. minus 19% of wages, which is $87.82, which is a total of $550. That leaves us with a total of $1,100 to the gross still, right? We're not done yet though. I still got after I pay the driver, after the company takes their money, now they're like, okay, now we have $1,100 to give you, but you still have to pay deductions for the truck, right? Now, we got fuel at $105 with a $2 service charge. We got another fuel at $221.52 with a $2 service charge. $150, which was a cash advance that I took out with my card with the company. Some companies have a option to where you can use the card as a debit card, take out money if you need it to buy pump oil, whatever the case may be. You need to buy maybe a light, or maybe you want to go buy clothes in the winter, some underwear, something, you know what I mean? Food, you have a little bit of leeway to be able to deduct some money out of that card, and they just take it out of your settlement, take it out of your check. So they took out $150 because I took out that money. Now I rent a trailer through them, and that trailer rent is $275 a week. Now they deduct $9.50, $61.99 for trailer registration, and $20.50 for also trailer as well, for the VIN, for registration, insurance, and stuff like what the trailer needs. They deduct that for the trailer itself. So I pay $275 for the trailer, like I said, and then now there's a escrow deduct at $37.50 and another ICD escrow deduct at $25. So that basically puts the deductions at $910 with all the fuel I just told you, with rental, the trailer rental, with trailer registration, with the advance that I got. Now, if you're wondering what's the escrow, okay, the ICD escrow, what the ICD escrow is basically the e-log I have to have and the camera I have to have in the truck, which is insurance policy, company policy. You have to have that. So that's like not an argument towards the company. It's like, hey, that's a deduction. So you have to have that. Also, escrow balance for if you were to leave the company, high and dry, like I were just to quit today and say, hey, whatever, I still got to pay fuel. I still got to pay, insurance. I still got to pay all my stuff that I have, my deductions, my costs that I have from my prior week. I still have to make up for that. So if I didn't make a good enough amount of check for that escrow amount, not the ICD escrow balance, but the regular escrow balance, that's what they will use to basically pay for those expenses if I were to quit and ditch out on them, right? So with those total deductions, with the fuel, trailer, all that stuff, That's $910. Like I said, like that left at before we even did the deductions, we're at $1,100. Now that's $910. So guess what that leaves the truck? Guess what that leaves me as the owner for that truck that week? $200.62 for that week. Yes, I know. You're probably like, damn, like, bro, like, yes, it's crazy because, like, how can you live off of that? Now, on my prior checks, like I said, we're good. And this video is not to discourage nobody. This video is not to, or this podcast or this, whatever, you know, we're doing, whatever you're getting from this, right? You know, this information is not to discourage anyone. This information that I'm giving y'all is to help y'all to understand that it's not all about getting rich. Now, this was my smallest check, but that's why whenever all my other checks that I did get, I put away. You got to have a savings. You got to build that capital up, y'all. You got to hold on to that money. You can't go out and spend it all the time just because you know you're making good money. You got repairs that come up. Like I said, within this week of this check, I had $1,400 tires put on my truck. Where did that come from? Not from this $600 that I made. Oh, well, why is it $600? I'm about to get to that. Because $200, like I said, is what the truck made. Now, building that capital is very important. So we're going to go, oh, how'd you make $600 if you only made $262? Okay, I'm about to get to that. So here on this other settlement is the driver pay. Like I said, I'm the owner. I am the driver. So if I was just the owner and I had a driver, now my driver would have been taking home $426.83. So me taking home $426 at 83 plus 262, that leaves me with $600 and some dollars, right, to my pocket because I am the owner and I am the operator. If you want to be, oh, I want to be a boss, I want to be home. Well, guess what? You would only make $200. Your driver would have made $426, right? So I had already told y'all the deductions, of course, for the driver. There had to be the 28 for Social Security, medical care. And so me explaining that to y'all, like I said, is not to discourage y'all. It's not to make y'all, not to make my company sound bad, not to make anything sound bad, but it's just for people to understand that there's times like this that it's not always fun and games. It's not always easy. It's tough because you have to figure out, okay, now if you didn't have money put up in the savings, if you didn't have that you know, that money set aside for important things like repair, important things like bills, important things like just overhead that needs to be paid. You didn't have that money put away. What are you going to do with this $200 or the $600 check? Ask yourself that. So when you get into this, it's important that you understand saving money is essential, and it can either make you or it could either break you. Like I said, I don't say all this information for you to get discouraged. I don't say all this to say my company's a bad company, because my company is a great company. I've made amazing money. This is just my worst check, and I wanted to share that with y'all, just so y'all don't have that misconception or that people tell you, oh, you're gonna get rich and oh, you're gonna make all this, and there's downfalls in this. There's times that you're gonna be like rolling good and your tire blows out and you gotta go get it fixed, or something happens with your engine, your truck shuts off, and then if you have overhead, like you got a truck payment, you got insurance separately, that's not even including this insurance that you're at least on with the company, but you got a separate insurance because the main people that sell you the truck, the dealer, is requiring you to have a separate insurance. Like it's a lot. It becomes a lot if you do not play your cards right. So I talk about this information to put it out here on this podcast to make sure that people understand, that y'all watching this understand, should I say, that it's important to build capital, to build that money. And if you're already starting off with a lot of money, you're buying a truck, you got money, you got mom and daddy's money, or you have money saved that you've been saving from working hard, hey, by all means, have that money saved up, build that credit up so that if you do get a business loan, you can go get a business loan, get that EIN number, that LLC, so you can get that's a whole nother topic. But I mean, you want to be able to have those sources if you need them, right? But it is important that you have that money saved. It is important that you do go off of what is right. Like, you want to think about, what company are you going to go with? Do you know what company you're going to go with? Do you know what these drivers are making over there? Do you know what they're bringing in weekly? Do you know what they're making monthly? What kind of trucks do they got? You know what I mean? Look at that. Do I need to lease a trailer? How much is that going to cost me? Can I just go get a trailer for cheaper, maybe somewhere else? Look into all those resources, guys. Look into all those things. Ask questions, and that's why I do these, these podcasts. That's why I do these videos, to help to educate, to just share that knowledge, because I live this life. This ain't something that I get on here because I want to grow viewers. I want to grow this and that because, I just want to get whatever. No, I do this because I want to educate people. This is my day off right now. I'm shooting this right now on my day off because I want to make sure that I get this information out there, y'all. It's very important. But till next time, y'all, I hope that y'all enjoyed this. If y'all did enjoy this, make sure that y'all do subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more information, to get more videos like this. If you're watching this or just hearing this on the podcast, y'all go follow the social media platforms if y'all want any more golden nuggets, because I'm gonna be dropping more also with other people, other hosts, or other just people on the set, just giving their input on the trucking industry and their experiences, right? Make sure that y'all stay tuned. If y'all like this video, like it. Much love, y'all. Till next time. Peace. This lifestyle ain't for the weak. You got to get up and go get it. You can't live life off motivation. You got to be driven. Things are going to be tough. All that means is to get up and push harder. Now get up and chase those dreams. And when you get there, don't stop. Keep going.